Hey, what's up? It's a Figure Hunter, and today I have some initial thoughts on the Reebok Nano X. I'm going to compare these side by side with the Nike Metcon 7 as well as the Reebok Nano 7's and give you some sort of feedback there. We're going to look at the shoe in detail. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing for more. I'm finally going to have the Garmin Instinct 2 on the way, or should be arriving by the time this video is released. So looking at the Reebok Nano X, I actually picked these up on a sale, which was fantastic, and the sale was $55. So for a $130 shoe, as it typically is for a solid CrossFit shoe, $55 is a great deal that you almost can't pass up. But the question remains is, how does it compare? So we're going to look at it in comparison to the Nike Metcon 7, as well as in comparison to the Nano 7's that are just beat up and worn down, but I still keep on hand. So just to see, what the features and benefits that might help in a CrossFit workout, how the shoe has been designed to functionally and effectively work in a CrossFit workout, and obviously how does it compare with another, what I believe is my go-to everyday shoe. How does it compare with another manufacturer that has also sort of come in full tilt in the CrossFit shoe stream? Not comparing it to the Noble shoes, because I don't feel like they offer enough value when it comes to actually functionally working out in a CrossFit setting. But let's dive in, let's take a look, let's compare it hands-on. We're going to look at a lot of features or details and how it compares to the Nike Metcon 7 as well as the Nano 7's, and then we'll talk about it. All right, so here is the Nano X. You can see the features as Rope Pro. So it does have a little bit of rubber that flows up, but when you get to this is smooth as silk. It's just like a hard plastic. It obviously cups the side of the foot for cycling the barbell and keeping foot stabilization. But this is the only part that they're saying is functionally for the rope. You have just a basic, sort of toe box, as well as the basic heel design. We're going to look at how it compares. You have a wider toe box, and I apologize if the video is slightly skewed. I'm using a half space or half concentration, half zoom, and it has this sort of split inside where you can actually have this used. I've seen other CrossFitters at the gym that just sort of skip this and just go straight loop to loop. And it has obviously this raised little heel, which I swear I saw in a Reebok interview that was for style and not necessarily for functional use. I do like a lot that it has this like inner sleeve and it has this exterior. So you can see in there that it's got a full inner sleeve, which makes it feel comfortable on the foot. And overall, the flexibility of the shoe feels totally within reason of what you would want. And the heel cup, this is soft. It's not like a hard plastic, but it is a solid feel. And then across the back, this rubber does come up to the edge. So I would think in doing headstand push-ups, but if you can get it the wall here, doing headstand push-ups is going to be great, because again, this is just like a hard plastic. So let's compare it to some of the others. If you were to compare it head-to-head with the Metcon 7's, you're going to see a few features off the bat that are on the Metcon 7's that are not on this. Obviously, you have your lace lock, which locks the laces in. That's kind of a nice feature. You have these extensions here, which pulls it a little bit tight across the overall foot. The biggest thing that I think is different is on the rope climb area, you actually have really grippy rubber and grooves all the way up the side, continuing across the middle with a little bit more cutout across the middle, and then all the way up the other side. So you get a lot more true rope grip. I mean, this goes all the way up and it is very grippy rubber. On the heel, this is like a plastic piece. So the furthest part of the edge is plastic. It does get rubberized here, which I guess is actually somewhat similar. If you're looking at what part would touch the wall, yeah, it looks like it curves out right there. So I might have misspoke in a second when it comes to the summary. The Hyperlift is this grip here across the heel. It doesn't quite raise up as much. It's a little bit softer here. And when it comes to, so this is actually more flexible. So Nike's made it more flexible than what the Nano X is. for running and for movement there, but the base of the shoe is more rigid than the Nano X. You got some cushiony things. I mean, a lot of the same things are very similar when it comes to the two shoes. One thing you will see when comparing them is when you look at the Nike Metcon 7, you have a much wider wheelbase, or sorry, heel base. So if you were just to take it and do some simple measurements, there, that's 3.5 inches, but across here, it's 3.76. So you get a little bit more width when it comes to the base, 3.79. So you get a little bit more width there. And when you look at the overall, you obviously just have a much more flat, and then this has the curvature for the rope climbs. So you get a little more stability here though, because it's not angling down there. And then if you take the Nano X's and drop that shoe off to the side, and you compare them to the Nano 7's, which is obviously, it's an older model, whatever, just so you can see how the evolution of the Nano has come along. You still have the wide toe box, but a little bit wider now, so it's even gotten more breadth to it with the Nano X's. You don't have a lot of fancy features when it comes to the Nano X, because it doesn't even really offer anything but a smooth surface here, whereas this, even though this is sort of plasticky, does have grooves to it at least. Go further up the shoe, so this plastic comes up and then drifts back, whereas the original Nanos had this peak at a further back. And then, you know, you still have some, this is a little bit of a rubberized texture versus this being a little bit more plasticky. And then across the middle, you have a lot of similarities in the overall layout of the shoe. But overall, I think that, you know, this has just got a simple insides versus this sort of dual layered piece here. Overall, I feel like they've obviously evolved the quality of the specificity when it comes to doing a CrossFit workout. So that is that. Let's talk about it in summary. So what do I think out of the gate? I think it's an overall very solid shoe. It was comfortable in the first workout. I like the overall feel, the form factor on my foot. Felt very comfortable, just like the Nano 7's did, which I wore for many years. I think that they have a solid heel design. They have you know, I do think that the factors that are different than the Metcon 7 now stand out to me. Obviously, they're better and improved from the Nano 7's, but versus the Nike Metcon 7, there are some limitations. Obviously, the heel has the rubberized feel, so if you're doing headstand push-ups, it's going to drag just a bit. You don't really have any solid rubberized feel for rope climbs along the side. You know, the extra width you get on the Metcon 7's on the heel base would provide a little bit more stability when doing, you know, fast-paced rotating through a barbell cycle, but the overall feel and comfort when using it for a CrossFit workout, it is a little bit sort of, it just feels a hair more comfortable and a hair more flexible in actual use. But I'm going to take it through the ringer, test it a bunch of times, and actually compare it sort of maybe side by side. Maybe I'll put one on one foot, one on the other, and we'll just see if that has any sense to it. That's probably actually not a great idea, but either way, I'll put it through the ringer to see what my final thoughts are in a final review. So with that, it's the Fit Gear Hunter. Thanks so much for watching.